What's cracking, fam? T-Money down in the dungeon. It is Friday night. Finally, man, this week went by so fucking slow. And yeah, here to bring you guys a little collection update. It's snowing outside. I got the fire going. Basement to myself. Life is good in my small little world. So I hope everybody's doing well. And yeah, so let's do this. Let's do this update. Um, so we're gonna start off with a film by Joe Meredith, indie filmmaker. This is from 2020, I believe. Variant. Shout out to Horace Ball. First heard about this. I think it was a nomination on his Horny Award, so picked it up. Watched it. It's really low budget. It's kind of like an alien creature feature, zombie slash, uh, just maniacal fucking low budget movie, I guess. Um, some of the practical effects are really good in it though, but if you don't like super low budget, it almost seems like it's like a film crew shooting it. It's like really really grainy, and I think that's part of the style because it's like a newscast thing going on with this outbreak in this community and these crazy ass creatures just fucking tearing shit up. But yeah, the practical effects are really good in this one for a low budget indie film. Really gross out sequences. You can see that artwork's pretty cool. It's definitely like an art. I'm sure the director's an artist. Wouldn't be surprised if he made this drawing. But also something that was really cool when I bought this, I got an email from the director saying, "Hey, it's people like you are the reason why I'm able to do this," and blah blah blah. So I thought that was really cool that he reached out to me personally, and that made me want to support it even more. So it's not often that happens, but yeah. It says a lethal alien embryo is used by a deranged man to release a new infection that exceeds the malignancy of Havoc virus, raising the mutant dead from their graves. So yeah, some cool, really cool gore sequences and just like monsters in it. They're really fucking gross out cool. All right, next up we have a From Celluloid to Snuff. Oh, the horror. Kind of like a low budget film documentary type thing on cult horror movies, obviously. We got some Christopher Lee, we got some Phantom of the Opera, we got some Vincent Price, Peter Cushing, we got some Drew Barrymore, so modern, 90s, 70s, 60s, 80s, all that goodness. It seems, I don't want to say like second rate, but it seems like it's a lot more like film enthusiasts that are kind of featured in this. You've got Chauncey Phillips, you've got Nathan Hill, I don't know who that is, Justin Beam. So some cool. No, you got PJ Starks, Billy Pond, who's awesome actually, and Lloyd Kaufman, of course. Lloyd Kaufman appears in everything low budget. So it's cool. It's a mishmash, but it's I feel like it's kind of lower budget. Super cool. Then we have a few westerns that I have no fucking idea what they're about. I'm not even going to pretend to you know, comment on these, but Man of the East, Terrence Hill. I'm trying to boost up my collection and my knowledge, so don't give me any grief. Fucking A. 1973. The Hills Run Red, not to be confused with the more recent slasher movie, The Hills Run Red. This one's from 1966. Both of those are in color. And then we have Wings of the Hawk, starring Van Heflin and Julie Adams, from 1953, and it is in color. So it says 3D restoration from 2K scans of the left and right eye inner positives. So, yeah. And then So Evil, My Love, starring Ray Milland. Awesome. This is from the director of The Uninvited. It says, yeah, it's a captivating thriller of obsession and deceit. A woman falls under the spell of an evil man. Yeah. Hopeless romantic, I guess. I don't know. Villain spell, So Even My Love, capture woman. Yeah, but so awesome. Pretty cool. From 1948, black and white. Looks like a hell of a lot like a film noir, but this one sounded really awesome as well. Leslie Nielsen in The Dark Intruder from 1965. Leslie Nielsen stars in this one. He is an occult expert brought by police to help solve a series of murders, and in which a mystical statue is left at each crime scene. So that's pretty cool. It says gothic horror tale full of atmosphere and suspense that slowly draws viewers into the mystery until the final terrifying reveal, not real. Reveal, not motherfucking real. So Jack Laird directed this one. Awesome. Super cool. All right, and then another schlocky barbarians type film from 70s, I think, 1978. This is from the director of uh, Killer Fish. Wait, I lied. Sorry. Um, Lee Majors stars as the Norseman. But it's basically like a Viking prince goes to this town to try and find his father type thing, and it's kind of like an adventure fantasy fucking. I love those kind of movies though, so I'm down for it. Yeah, for sure. That reminds me, actually, I feel like I ordered something on Amazon. Gore, maybe. One of these movies, starring. Forget it. Doesn't matter. My mind is going elsewhere. But let's see. Oh, this is from the director of the original Town That Dreaded Slowdown and Sundown, excuse me, and The Evictor. So that's cool. Love those movies. Shout out to Scream Factory double feature. All right, and we have Grizzly 2: The Revenge. Probably the worst movie that Charlie Sheen, George Clooney, and Laura Dern ever starred in. Probably, if you were to ask them what movie they're least proud of in their career, they would probably say this movie right here. 37 years in the making. It's finally put together and brought to us by Gravitas Venturas. And I'm not going to lie, I haven't seen it, but I heard it's fucking horrible. But I'm just like so curious. I mean, 3 huge actors. I can't imagine they're like really in like starring roles or have a lot of dialogue or anything like that. But yeah, I've heard nothing but shitty things about that movie. But makes a lot of sense, right? Got to pick it up. I love this movie. I absolutely love this movie, The Unseen. If you guys haven't seen it, you have to. It's so good. This group of like girls, they're going somewhere and their car breaks down or something, and they get offered by this like creepy little museum owner dude to stay at his house. And little do they know, there's some mutant unknown being, I won't say what it is or who it is, that's living in the basement. And I don't really need to say anything more. I mean, some cool scenes. I love it. I love the atmosphere in it. I love the character actor in this. The guy who plays the museum owner is creepy, and it's just looking at him, I love him. He's such a little weird dude. It's a good movie. Love it. Stars Ringo Starr's wife, too. Alright. Rest in Pieces. This is a new one from Dustin Mills. I gotta say, I'm not the hugest Dustin Mills fan. I do really love Heart Attack, aka Night of the Tentacles. I think that's a great, really fun horror comedy. I actually and it's creative and unique. I like that movie a lot. I haven't seen too many others that I really love. I need to check out Slumber Party Massacre or Slaughterhouse Slumber Party, because that's more, I think, along my lines. I think the problem with me and Dustin Mills is some of his movies just are like too batshit insane, and then he goes in like weird apple cart directions, and then this is like kind of like a mob movie, I think. I'm not really sure, but it's Rest in Pieces. And it stars Mr. Parka, which is cool. I support, indie horror dudes all the time. So I had to pick this up. I bought this. If you ever watch my video, Mr. Parka, I bought this for you. So I just want you to know that. Anyways, moving on. Zoom Up. This sounded really cool. Nikatsu Erotic Films Collection. A violent killer. Okay, so this is Japanese. It's a series. This is the first one in a series. Zoom Up, murder site. So it's kind of like, I think it's maybe like, I don't think it's hardcore porno, but it's a horror porn movie type thing. And it's like really sleazy. And yeah, there's a murderer around or on the loose or whatever. And this woman is having an affair. And she thinks that the murderer witnessed her having an affair, so she doesn't want to go to the police. So it's kind of like a murder mystery porno horror movie, all mixed into one. Batshit Japanese crazy fucking 1979 goodness. So yeah, Impulse Pictures. So yeah, that's that. Zoom Up. Nikatsu Erotic Film Collection. I guess this is the first. So then we have this. This is like the balls out batshit crazy update. Uh, the Treasure of Dracula, the sexy vampire version. So this movie from MVD Visual and VCI put this out, 1969. I guess I don't know this guy, but Mexican wrestler El Santo. I guess was he a classic wrestler? I'm not big into wrestling, so I know a little bit of 90s wrestling because that was like my generation, but I don't know pre or post. I don't really give a shit either. But anyways, it says after inventing a time machine, El Santo goes back in time to track down the location of Dracula's hidden treasure, and then he gets there and he has a standoff with Dracula himself and a slew of sexy vampires that, you know, Dracula probably bangs and has orgies with all the time, which is awesome. And yeah, the interesting thing is it says the original film 1969 release was black and white and featured no nudity, but was simultaneously shot in color, featuring full frontal nudity for European markets, of course, and finally released in Mexico in 2012 as El Vampiro y el Sexo. So, interesting. Can't wait to check it out. We have a new one from Troma, Speak of the Devil, Lloyd Kaufman. Honor Killing. This sounded pretty interesting, actually. I haven't seen it, but it's about a girl who gets like beaten and, I don't know, sexually abused, and then her family kind of just throws her out, and she wants to take some revenge. So I don't know if it's like a touch of I Spit on Your Grave, but it's a revenge horror movie, so starring a hopeless, well, not so hopeless, woman who was brutally attacked and sexually assaulted, and betrayed by her own family. So says you can't keep a good woman down after surviving the box set. Okay, so yeah, so she gets raped in the beginning, and then her family, I don't know why, they disown her. It's the girl with no name. She has no name, and they want to kill her. So they try and stage this execution. She gets away, and she comes back for hopefully some kick-ass revenge. All right, 2 more titles, guys. Beach Babes from Beyond. This just sounded ridiculous. I had to pick this up from Full Moon. Yeah, just super corny, sexy comedy from, I think, the 80s, probably. But yeah, who cares about the year? I don't know, 80s, 90s, 2000s. It's a sex comedy, but it's got weird, like, so the girls in this are aliens, apparently, and they're crash down onto Earth, and they meet these 2 horny, like, meatheads, basically. And yeah, trying to give you guys a little more synopsis, so I'm not just like, yep, here's a movie I've never seen, there you go, here's a movie I've never seen, because, you know, that gets old quick. I'll be the first to admit that. But yeah, so Beach Babes from Beyond. I know Mike from Grindhouse Video said it's pretty ridiculous, but funny. Just, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? I'll watch it just to see some sexy space girls. And last but not least, we have the Duce Tapes. I was honestly not sure if I wanted to pick this up, but I'm a sucker, of course, for a nice Arrow edition, and I wanted to. I'm not a big fan of El Duce. The only thing I really know about him is that, wasn't he the dude that, like, said that Courtney Love hired Kurt Cobain to be murdered by him? Like, she hired a hit, and he was the guy. I know he died. Did he get run over by a train or something? Something crazy. Unless I'm thinking of somebody completely different, but I'm pretty sure he was seen in, like, a documentary being like, yeah, Courtney Love wanted me to kill Kurt Cobain or something like that. But it's crazy, though. He was a lot more than that, obviously. He was a really shitty punk rock, I think, dirty punk musician in that dirty punk scene in the 90s and late 80s, I think. But I'm not into that shit at all. Like, I like refined pop punk. I'm not a big... I like pussy pop punk, man. I grew up with that. I'll be the first to tell you I'm not a big, like, Sex Pistols fan or the Dead Kennedys or anything that's raw. And not to say that's even close to this. I'm probably going to lose some subscribers from saying that. But I'm just being honest. But yeah. Definitely to say I'm not a fan of El Duce's music. So, but I've heard it's crazy. I've heard it's pretty cool. Like, this guy was fucking nuts, lived a crazy life. So maybe someday I will dive into the history of El Duce, because I've heard this is pretty interesting. And yeah, no doubt he was a nut, crazy dude. But I don't know. That's that. Tons of special features. I'll let you guys look at that if you're interested. But yeah, kind of weird. Kind of a weird depart from the traditional Arrow releases. But yeah, they do some random stuff. So El Duce. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. I will catch you very soon. I got a huge package from Jesse coming very soon, and I am stoked to dive into that. So cheers, have a good night, peace.